And it's just like that with the poems of Peter Gizzi, because when I read Peter's poems, there are other poets leaning over me. Peter has learnt from so many wonderful poets and just synthesized them into him in a fantastic way. There's a lot of Robert Creeley, talks about Robert Creeley in the poems, and I was so absorbed with Peter's book that then for a couple of days everything I did was like I was in a Peter Gizzi poem. So this morning I always have porridge, and I thought what I'll do is, I'm trying to be sophisticated, I'll cut a lemon in half and squeeze the lemon onto the porridge. And yeah, you're right to murmur in appreciation. But what happened was, I didn't realize the lemon had a tough skin, so I hacked away at the lemon and actually sliced into my finger, as you can see. But I thought, it doesn't matter, because I'm kind of living in a Peter Gizzi poem here, because what he's doing in Fierce Elegy is he's making us live in Fierce Elegy years. He's making us live in a place where the slicing of a finger or the making of something can become profound and powerful. And that's why I love this book so much, because it makes me feel that everything that everybody is doing is profound and powerful in a fantastic way. As he says, Fierce, he says, what is the real but a reflecting pool where I saw you once ripple and wave? And that's what happens in this fantastic book, Peter Gizzi's Fierce Elegy. Peter.
Well, this is nuts. Not as nuts as you, though. The thing that most frightened me was when you said, my mother stands behind my poems, or your pudding. I'll be brief. I just want to thank everyone involved with the T.S. Eliot Prize this year for including my voice. And I'm not going to characterize my book. I don't need to. It's called Fierce Elegy. Sadly, where I live, as you're find spot unknown. Thus far we have spoken only the codes, a litany of survival. Thus spoke the silvered asphodel next to the factory ruin. Sound carries on water. My subject is the wind. To take umbrage at what a tree can do, watching one single birch become lightning, stunning the sky. Landscape is a made thing, to see the mind seeing itself, to see thought, a wing in night, the long brooding. Take it, listen. The night is orchestral when the power's on, everything disporting, a furred wand upon nothingness. I get it. It was good to leave the world, to find myself in thou. There's a lot to be said for seeing in the dark, and more to the light when there's nothing to see. If I write about the moon, it's because it's there. I am landlocked, surrounded by rivers and lakes, pills and leaves. I saw a better life. It was far off, sun on moss next to a friend, the softening air, the dandelion fluff. It was kinda real and kinda not. Can't see it today. And out of nothing, breath, a beast-like shadow in the glass. If I brought back every feeling I had, where would I put them? What could they mean to this world on the floor? It was best to let the moon unravel and focus the truth of the music. It was best to let the music unravel and focus the truth of night, like when I found you in the back of my mind. I am talking about people in the night, people inside the night and what we are made of, the things and the people, the signal and its noise. I'm good to ghost. It was also Orfeo the other night, when the face you carry is not your own. And the history in this is a history of haunted ground. The world is a veil. Its effects total the imagination. What have I been doing without me all this time? Don't know if I want to anymore. I wonder distance and its discontents. I trouble distance. Nevertheless, the poet is a buzz. The poet becomes a bug in air. How did I lose you between the rug on my floor and the sun setting out the window, between the radiator and a dusky kaleidoscopic light? To wander that light, ingenious before dark, to wonder the beautiful, so close to death. Where do you go when I don't see you? Or who am I when you're not around? Revisionary. I've decided to let my inner weather out. Even in the nerves flashing, some things are only shadow. What's up with that? My muse bruises me. Some days I sit hours to be relieved by a word. Today's word is invisible. I'm putting trouble into place, turning toward what is, listening to stone translate into silence. Here is an old rock covered with lichen in the mossy forest inside the self. I like it here when it's green. This is me evolving. I'm hanging on a whisper. Certain prayers are tied to this ribbon. How in hell can nature throw clay into art, into a speaking being, into air? I saw a world that was an afternoon, this cloud in my hand, sky pouring into sky, reflecting the absolute of the lake, the flock in its tangle of shadow. Nearing the end, I could hear a lark, its trill fixing itself to my brain. It seemed a thing becoming a wave, a thing dissolving into the world as I found it, illegible, agrammatical, to parse the velocity of trusses and stars flowering here at the edge, calling me. Two more. I forgot to thank my sponsors tonight, the makers of Lemsip. Ecstatic joy and its variants. As surely as this is about seeing you dance naked, it is also about the sky and Mahler and the wan distance heard by a child. As surely as the sadness never leaves and that music heals the night with its deeps and neon. As surely as the glow of the radiator at 3 a.m., a line of inquiry, souvenirs, a signature for the sun. O bed of stray barrettes, discourse and water, bed of laughter, hot takes, dried blood, bed of cedar boughs, pinhole light, thing music. Surely this is about water jetting from a spring, a languid rafting with no particular destination, as the old arguments, humans, how they rhyme, stutter, get lost. This is also about conversations with the dead, the only honest definition of silence. Surely you are not listening to the words I am singing about the last day of my life, the gift of blood, the perfect text. Are not all the sounds on my lyre about you? Like a seam through the sky, glitter, sometime youth. Surely this is about the one thing you do to me, places not even music has touched. And in my outrage, I am immortal. Because I love, I am here. And then finally, strange title. But the heart, in a sense, is far from me, floating out there. Hold on to the afterlife of the beloved. It's the only thing that's yours. Hold on to it ever magic in the backyard where we bury our thoughts, things of the world like an afterlife of the world to bury our setting outness. It's right to extract bone from the afterlife, dust collecting shoes, relics of the afterlife. Cut a hole in the poem to play peekaboo. Rebuild my house out of sky. Blur my memoria into song. Make my headdress the right size to salute the emptiness alive in the beloved, the humanness of the beloved and the night sky, shapes floating out there, becoming the beloved, the abstract, the total. Thank you.